Hi, I'm an artist, and today I want to paint transparent hair. Okay, so how are we gonna narrate this one? Well, originally I was planning to write this script right after I finished the piece, but spoiler, I didn't have much brain power left at that point, and to be honest, I don't think I have that much left at this point writing. But let's begin with something simple, I guess. Yeah, let's talk about my idea for this painting. And even though I may call it glass or water hair, but to be honest, at the time I had no idea what kind of material it would look like. I just knew I wanted to paint hair that was transparent. And actually, now after I'm done, I'm still not sure whether I should call it glass or water. But anyway, I had this idea in my head for quite some time already. Like, I even did a quick pencil sketch, which I took a photo of and used as a rough sketch layer, as you can see over here. And this is something I don't really do too often, but that sketch turned out exactly as what I wanted, which is again something even less likely to happen. So I use this as a rough sketch and built everything else on top of that in Krita. So when I decided to paint this idea, a lot of questions started to pop up, like how would one transparent thing look when overlapping with another transparent thing? Or what does water over a human head look like? And if the hair was transparent, does that mean we will see the whole head underneath? Does that also mean the model will be bald? Would that look okay? How could I make that into a reality? Would I even be able to do that? Like, I am pretty confident when it comes to study, but painting something transparent from imagination like this, could I even do that? But anyway, before answering any of those questions, let's talk about the face first, shall we? So when I did the pencil sketch, I just sort of drew the face and the little pose out of my imagination. And at first I planned on just winging it when painting the face. But then I found a reference photo that kinda matched with what I had sketched. And personally, I really like how the lighting set up in this reference, like especially how her lashes and her eye formed this kind of shadow on her nose. I thought it was such an interesting shape, so I really wanted to incorporate that in my painting. And yeah, I super duper enjoyed how it turned out. And also, these little brushstrokes that happen over here on her nose area as well. Like, I like them so much. Like, dare I say that's quite the perfection? Maybe that's a strong statement, but those brushstrokes kinda deserve that. So at first, I planned on giving her bright orange lipstick because I was making her hair blue, like blue glass or blue water, that kind of thing. And usually blue and orange look pretty good with each other, like a traditional pair of color. But then I looked at it again and I felt like it looked a little bit too bright, too distracting. So I tried to tone it out a little bit by applying some soft pink on top, but I don't really know if that actually worked. I would like to think that it is something, but not very sure. And by the way, past me stopped working on the face at this point, even though it was not done yet. Like, it still needed all the shadow from the hair casting on the face, but since at this point the hair looked like a mess, so I left that for later when the hair would be a little bit more finished and it would be easier to imagine how the shadow would look like. Okay, let's move on to the hair then, and I will say this once, and willingly and happily saying it again when needed. That is, until the very end of this painting, I still didn't have any idea what I was doing. Like, not even a single clue. Well, this was a little bit exaggerated. I did have one or two clues, but that's about it. Like, I did receive a lot of help from the reference photos. However, still, much of this hair, if not almost all of them, was mainly based on vibes and guesses. Yeah. And on top of references, let's talk about them as well, because finding them was kinda a journey in and of itself. So at first I was trying to find some water flying in the air kind of photos, because I thought maybe water hair could look something similar to that. And I found quite a lot of them, but after some intense staring, I don't think they could really help me imagine how transparent hair would look, especially how it would look on somebody's naked head. But fortunately, like very fortunately, I found this video of a person making a character's figurine that has transparent hair. She's like a cookie fairy with seawater hair, you know, those kind of characters. So even though technically it is not transparent hair on a human head, but her cookie color, yeah, her cookie color is somewhat similar to a kind of human skin. So I guess that is the closest thing to my vision that I could ever find. So I just happily went to steal some screenshots from reference purposes. So thank you so much for making that video. It's really helped me tremendously with this project. And yeah, even though I got the power of those references by my side, I still didn't fully understand how I could apply those to my painting. And you will see that the most obvious with the upper bank area. Like, I had to rework that part for many times because I really like how the sea cookie lady got some caustic-esque effect going on with her hair, so I wanted to recreate the same effect on my lady too. But that thing was just so confusing to paint, so it took me quite a few tries to make up something that I at least felt okay with. And also another thing I wanted to talk about was the color of the hair. So as I just said, I planned it to be blue, but I didn't really consider how the blue color would interact with the skin color I painted underneath until I saw the cookie lady's hair and how it turned into a greenish kind of colors when it was on her head. I saw that and I was like, oh yeah, how did I not think about that? Of course, transparent things with color would change color depending on what's behind it. Like, it is see-through after all, you know. Yeah, that's the reason why we need references, you know. Anyway, after getting reminded that the thing I painted was actually see-through, which meant we can see her face and also all shadows and everything like that, I proceeded to paint the framing hair bit over here and definitely felt a lot more satisfied with how that one turned out. And when that bit was done and I finished putting the hair shadows on her face, my brain officially shut down. And I really needed to go to sleep at that point, but all I could do was just sitting in front of my laptop, blankly staring into nothingness for like a few minutes because brain went bye-bye. Anyway, hi again. It was a new day and maybe a new me. And let's try to get this lady to the finish line. And it was time for the hair at the back, which meant it was actually blue hair time, no more green or turquoise hair for me. And also, once again, I tried to imitate the cookie lady's hair, but to be honest, I didn't really understand what was going on there, so I decided to wing it again. And I thought as long as there was some of the background colors showing through, then it was good? Yeah, maybe? I don't know. And yeah, it was also time to answer the question regarding the naked head. Yes, the model did have to be bald underneath the hair, but very fortunately, with how much the hair distorted everything underneath, and also how intense the blue got, I don't think her bald head was that noticeable. Like you can see it, but when you look from far away, nah, not so much. So that's a good thing, I guess. Yeah. Okay, let's paint the water drops next. So do you know that thing when water drops invert things, like making things upside down? Like, for example, the raindrops on window turning the scenery outside upside down kind of photo. Yeah, that thing. This is something I actually had to look up when doing this part because I wasn't sure when this would happen. Like, I think I knew about that. It was something I got taught at school at some point, but well, I graduated for many years already, so all that information have happily left my brain long ago. So from my Google search, this would happen when the focal length of the water drops. You know what? Let's stop here, and in a very TLDR version, if water drops was far from the objects upside down, and if they were close to each other, not upside down anymore, object right side up. So that meant the hair touching her skin won't invert anything, but I can make the drops invert things if I want to place them further away from the lady. And we don't really need to care about any other details, as this is an art channel, and not anything science adjacent, you know. Anyway, I decided to make all the water drops in the painting inverting things for some interesting visual effect. So that meant if the background color was on top of her head, I would paint it on the bottom of the water drops and then the skin color. And if it was on the left, I would paint it on the right, that kind of thing. And hopefully this at least makes some kind of sense, but at this point I'm not even sure anymore. But they are video footage, so maybe that will be a little bit clearer and easier to understand than my blubbering, I guess. I hope. Well, after those floating water drops, I think we're kinda done here. So let's check out how this lady looks after all of the suffering, shall we? As for my final words in this video, really hope you guys enjoy this painting idea. I know I am not really like the most skilled when it comes to portraits, but still, I actually don't even know what I wanted to talk about anymore. Brain's still kinda dead, if you couldn't tell. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day/night ahead and see you later.